He's bold, he's brash, he's sarcastic. Sometimes he's even a little bit rude. What is there not to love about Transformers Generations Voyager class Springer? We're going to take a look at this guy in our latest GotBot True Review. Welcome back to the channel, folks. I am Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. I'm your host, and thanks for dropping by for another visit. I'm going to do as I always do. I'm going to ask you to like and comment and subscribe. I'm going to ask you to check out Machinery of Man. Check out The Everything Factor, my first novel. And check me out across social media. This is the third mold that is going to be used in the upcoming Heroes Platinum Edition box set. It's not often that I'm really impressed with these box sets. And the truth is, when I heard about the Cyclonus and Scourge molds being reused in a Platinum set, I took a look at those molds, in the modern age, just to see if they still stand the test of time. I looked at the, Junkion Wreck-Gar mold and the Hot Rod mold. And I actually looked at that box set. A great release. No doubt a great release. And while this certainly isn't the Platinum Edition version, this is the Generations version, a very worthwhile figure to still look at. Recently we got a Transformers Legends version come out that was a lot more green. Green down, through here, green all over the arms, green on the chest. It was extremely animation accurate. I think it was even green on the face. Extremely animation accurate, but it was a sea of green, and it was almost too much green. The Platinum set looks very promising. It does have more green up on the arms. It will have more green down on the legs. This yellow will actually be like a gold color from what we've seen from stock photography. So far we have looked at, and I guess I'll bring them in here just to show them. We've looked at the blur that's coming out. Well, we've looked at the Generations blur that will be re-released with a added bonus paint decos, and we looked at this guy. It is Cup. He too is going to be re-released with again a bit more of an accurate, better color scheme. Excellent figure, worth getting. Excellent figure, worth getting. Take a look at those reviews if you haven't. We're going to focus on Springer in this one. How does he compare with modern day Deluxe? There he is with a modern day Deluxe. How does he compare with modern day Voyagers? About the same. He's a respectable Voyager size. And we're going to measure him on paint apps, posability, playability, and of course, transformation. So paint apps. Honestly, when I got this guy, I said, wow, that's Springer. There's no doubt that's Springer. You'll notice I don't have these up, but I guess I should just to make it official, because the transformation pulls these up, though I think that's a little bit of IDW inspiration. When I saw this guy and I got him, I said, that's Springer. That's the Springer I've always been waiting for. He turns into all of his modes. I want him. At the time, I thought that his paint ups were 10. I went back and I looked at the animation model and I said, okay, they're 9. They're 9 because there's more gray on this guy. There's more yellow on this guy. Now I put him at an 8.5 because the Platinum Edition set, yeah, that's more accurate. The Transformers Legends, yeah, that's more accurate. Those are, 9.5 and 10. The Platinum set being 9.5 and the Legends one being a 10 for that accuracy. But for enjoying the paint scheme, I enjoyed this one the most. I like the breakup with the green, the yellow, and the gray. So, to be fair, because I like this paint scheme, because it still evokes Springer in my mind, I am going to give this guy a 9. A 9 for paint apps. In case you didn't hear me, I said it's a 9 for paint apps. Great start. Posability, playability. Well, in helicopter mode, he's pretty good. He's pretty solid. He's pretty great. In car mode, he rolls like a champ. That's pretty great. So I'm happy with all of that. He fits together well, but you've got to be very specific with what you're doing in robot mode. The big one, the head. It's on a ball joint that goes all the way around. The head looks up a little bit. It looks down a lot. These things move, but honestly, I always keep them down. Anyway, I don't even bother to put them up. Shoulders all the way out. They can go around 360 and they're not hindered on anything. The arms swivel. There's a 90 degree at the elbow. The hands can go in, but that's really for transformation. But like to go across his body, no problem for Springer to do it. No problem at all for Springer to do it. No, wait. I just learned now that there is waist articulation, and I've had this mold a while. The legs, I mean, he can do the splits with the best of them. Him and Prowl could enter the Olympics. The legs go back, but they're kind of hindered by this piece, even though this does, go up. Not that it really helps much here, but it could go all the way back. Legs go forward, all the way that way. The knees have a good 90-degree bend. The heels and feet, kind of pivot forward and back, but that's for transformation. Nothing to the side. These pieces move. You can do what you like with them, really. Now on mine, over the years, the shoulders have gotten a little weak. I guess I could do the whole, floor polish trick, and I might yet. We'll see. So posability, playability, a 10, absolute 10. He is absolutely great. When he came out, he was in such high demand, but he was also very available because he's such a great figure. He's also been used for Cloud Rodimus. I get what they went with the repaint for that. It's nice that we got a Rodimus and Voyager. It's certainly stylized, but hey, whatever. So so far we have a 9 for paint depths. We have a 10 for posability, playability. If you're getting or got, by the the time you watch this, the Platinum Edition set, you have a 9.5 and a 10. If you have the Legends version and you're really into accuracy and you don't mind that sea of green, you have a 10 and a 10. This guy is a winner of a figure. This guy is someone that's kind of a benchmark for others to be compared to. So let's go right into transformation and see how that works out. What will we do first? Let's look at helicopter mode, and then we will look at vehicle mode. But before we do that, helicopter mode and then car mode, he comes with this weapon, double-barreled blaster, and you're supposed to be able to, I guess, shoot one of these out at a time. I find it's hit or miss. They're just kind of friction held. There's one. There's two. They shoot far. They do. They shoot far. So it's a good blaster. I have no issue with it at all. It fits nicely in his hand. So I like his blaster. We can take that off. We have this sword, nice sword. Again, if you really wanted to store the whole thing, there's a hole right there. You can take the peg that's here, put it on that, and then come around to his back, and there's a hole up here. Nope, sorry. Take this, and while there is a hole here, there's another one on the back of the gun. My mistake. And you can take the whole thing, and you can just store it right there on his back if you don't want him holding either weapon. That's your call. That is your choice. But again, looks great. I should point out that technically this is a little bit of parts forming for the helicopter, because the sword actually splits apart. It has teeth up here that interlock. It splits apart, opens up. When it opens up, you take this green piece and you bring it up over, and we have the blades for his helicopter. It's parts forming, but I think it's justifiable parts forming because it turns into a legitimate weapon, and it still has a transformation to it. So I really don't mind this. We will lay that aside for now. We're going to lay this aside as well for now. And we will take a look at the figure. Well, we close up his feet, and we close up his feet and his heels. We bring these pieces out to the side for now. We bring this out to the side a little bit for now. And you can take his legs and tab them together, though they're probably going to come undone. I still do it because I find it helps to give me a bit of a guide. There's a tab here, there's a hole over on this thigh, and you just tab the legs together. I should also point out that because of the way the legs tab together, then there is a little, you see, there's up by the knee, there's a little bend there, there's a little, bend there, so that you can line them up and tab them together, no problem. These pieces on his knees, they will come down as landing gear that we will use a little bit later. Now, technically what's supposed to happen now is you angle the legs up a little bit, and then you bend them out at the knee a little bit, kind of like this, and there are 2 holes on his thighs and 2 pegs up on this flap, and that should come down and it should peg in. Does it necessarily peg in? I've never found that it pegs in great, to be honest with you, so I just sort of leave it like that. Next we need to deal with the arms in the front of this thing. Well, we'll deal with the shoulders first. Unpeg the shoulders. There's a peg right here that goes in under the chest. Just unpeg it out. Unpeg the shoulder like so. Bring the shoulders down. Bring the shoulder down. And you can start to flip up the chest. You should be able to bring the shoulders all the way down. Just like so. And the chest comes up over his head, which is a tight fit, I will admit. The head fitting under the chest is tight. There. But once you get it up over, you take the head and you can flip it right down to the chest and bring that all the way up, and you see another landing gear out right there. And you can see how this guy's coming together. The arms here. Okay, so what do you do with these in order to make him into a helicopter? First of all, you open down, or you open out that part of the forearm. You open the forearm in and you put the fist all the way in. Then there's 2 joints here. There's a joint down here and a joint up here. You probably bent at the bottom joint. You need to bend it up at the top joint. When you do that, you're going to see, when you bend up at that top joint, you're going to see that there is a tab right here, and you're going to see that there's a slot right here. And that slot needs to go over that tab. Does it lock in fantastically? On mine, no, not really. So you bend at that first joint, you bend at the elbow out, and you should be able to tab that in just like so. In case you didn't see it very well, I'll show it on the other arm again. So you flip out this green piece. You open up the arm and you put the fist right up there in the space that was provided. You really flip this all the way out, and then you see that there's a joint down here and a joint up top. From the top joint, flip this up like this, keeping the hand in, and then from the joint up here by the elbow, you flip it up again. And when you do it, that hole should be able to go over that tab. Just like so. Now, to kind of secure these in place, there's another hole in here on the forearm, and there's a tab on the side of the chest. And you want to tab all of that together. Tab on the side of the chest piece, and a tab on the side of the chest piece, a hole on the arm, and we tab all of that together like so. Just like so. We put down the little piece over his legs again. If that came out, you can try to put it in. We take this and we stick it in the silver hole, not the one up here on the top. That's for weapon storage. This one is for helicopter mode, and boom, there we go. We have Springer in helicopter mode, and I guess I should just straighten up these back fin pieces. You can fold these green pieces down again if you want, like so. It's really up to you if you leave them up or fold them down. I think the instructions tell you to leave them up, but you certainly can fold them down. That's him, you know, top-down view, front, side, other side. You know, so I think he makes a great-looking helicopter. Very Springerish helicopter. Weapon storage for this thing in this mode. Okay, so here's how it's supposed to work. You have two little starts up right here, and you're supposed to be able to bend up the landing gear, and then this, and you may have to put the handle back a bit, is supposed to fit in right here. I find it is very difficult to get it in there. Some people get it in there no problem. I've never been able to quite figure it out, but it's supposed to be like this. And that's what I do with that. Let's go to car mode. You know, this looks great. This looks great, and this spins very freely. I might even have it up a little bit high. I mean, you can push it down as far as you want. It still spins freely. It's a great helicopter. So we take this out for car mode. If I can get it out now, because I really have it wedged in there. And let's put this back in sword mode for now. Just like that. We want to turn this guy into a car now from this mode. So we begin by bringing those shoulder pieces all the way up to the front and bringing the shoulder piece all the way up to the front. We flip up those green pieces that I said you could either leave up or put down. And we're going to start to bring that arm back around, and we're going to start to bring this arm back around. You put up these knee pieces, and let's see, is it this way first? It might be, I think it's this way first. And it's been a while since I transformed this guy. Yeah, okay. Okay. So let me show this to you again. We took his arms and we folded them down. I started to fiddle back here. Once we got those pieces down, we take this whole center piece and we bring it back, because now instead of being the, I guess, cockpit of a helicopter, we want it to now be, you know, the windshield of a car. And the front of the car is starting to come together already. You do not want to put these arms down yet. Instead, you want to flip the leg up around, like so, and flip this leg up around like so, and you're going to have to move this tail piece out of the way. And the legs come up around like that. And then you take the arm pieces here, and is it the arm piece that goes in? Maybe the arm piece had to go in first. Okay, yeah, the arm pieces, I'm sorry, the legs I flipped up first, but the arm pieces do have to come all the way down. I said don't bring them down. I was incorrect. I apologize. That's on me. Bring the arm pieces all the way down first, and, you know, tab the roof pieces in. Now that you have these arm pieces all the way down, and you can see that the arm pieces are, you know, caught under the knee pieces, now you can bend the foot up, and now you can bend the foot up. And all of that just locks in nicely there. This back canopy piece, you just bring it down over. This tail piece, you know, you can kind of do what you want with it. Some people leave it like this. Some people put it up like this. Some people leave it like this and bring it around and have it actually up on the car like so. So it's really kind of up to you. Take these shoulder pieces and swivel them down and push them in. Take this shoulder piece and swivel it down and push it in. And boom. Here you have Springer in car mode. I find with my copy of the mold, the roof section doesn't hold in particularly fabulously. I don't know if that's the mold or if that's just a tolerance off the mold or if it's just my version of it. But still, you know, it's a fine looking car. It is a fine looking car. It sticks to, you know, it generally sticks together pretty solidly, even with a couple of minor tolerance issues. The weapon storage, a little lackluster. You can take this and store it either right there facing back, or you, of course you can turn it around and have it facing forward like so. It's really your call. The sword, the sword stores underneath the vehicle mode. See if I can show you how this stores. If I can remember how this stores. You bring out, okay, so you bring out these knee pieces just a little bit. You take the sword with that green piece facing toward the body and you bring that down. You bring those knee pieces up over the sword. You wedge the sword in between the chest pieces and there you go. The sword is now hidden. And again, like I said, if you want, you can put these back. The transformation, I mean, he's a triple changer. And honestly, for a triple changer, he's not too bad. A couple of things I messed up on there. You do have to keep in mind that the arms, to go to car mode, the arms need to come down first and then the legs flip up. If you put the legs up, you're not really going to be able to get the arms in. I started to do it backwards. You saw me fix it there. Overall transformation for this guy, because he is a triple changer and he's naturally a little bit more complicated, we'll give an 8 to. You'll have to practice it a couple of times, but once you have it, you have it. So, it, you know, we're looking at a 9, an 8, and 10. This guy's a 9. If you have one of the other versions with the better paint apps, you know, he's a 9.5. This guy's an excellent, excellent figure. Just to close this out, just to show just how easy the transformation actually is from here, we're going to go right back to robot mode to finish it out. We take the gun out. We open up these little pieces on the knee and take out his sword. We take the legs and flip them down around while moving the fin. We take this leg and we flip it down around while moving the fin. We split the legs and we open up the feet, just like that. Bottom half done. Splay out the arms for the top half. Lift up our windshield cockpit section. Lift that all the way up over and tab it in, and when you lift it up over, you'll see that there's a hole up here. There's a little tab right here, and that tabs right in. Bring the chest pieces just sort of down and out of the way right now. Now we need to, and this is why I wanted to show robot mode. Now we need to get this piece down over his head again, but we have a landing gear in here. And if you just try to do that, you're not going to be able to get the head up through because it is such a tight fit. So I would split the landing gear and honestly reach in and with your fingernail, you know, you're splitting this front piece and then you're reaching in here and pushing out the landing gear. Before you bring that down all the way, you want to start to get the head out, which for me is opting at the moment to be a bit of a pain. There you go. You want to sort of angle that in there and then start to bring the whole thing forward down over his head. You do need to be careful with his head because, like I said, it is tight. Bring up the chest piece and there's a peg right here and a hole on the side of his chest. You just want to peg that in there, and where we pegged the arm on earlier over here, split it. Bring up the chest piece and peg it in on the side, and then where the arm was pegged in over here, split it. Make sure the chest is all pegged together. And then last but not least, take this arm piece and fold it up, flip out the, before you do that, turn this car piece up, so on this side, come over here and do the same thing. Take this car door piece, pull it out, and flip it up. Then fold up the arms, pop out the hand, fold up the arm, and pop out the hand. And last but not least, close that side window and close this side window. And there you go. Once again, we have Springer back in robot mode. He is an excellent figure. He deserves to be in this set. If you do not have this Springer, and by that I mean a version of this Springer using this Voyager mold, do yourself a favor, go out and get him. He's an excellent triple changer. Thanks for watching this video and sticking with me. I really appreciate it. We only have 2 more left to go in this particular Platinum Edition box set. A couple of re-releases extra. We will take a look at them next. And I will see you all next time we meet right here inside the video. Thanks for watching.